Part 1. The Breaking Chains. The cold silence of space was shattered by a sharp, mechanical shriek echoing through the vast corridors of the derelict ship. Red emergency lights flickered erratically, casting strange shadows against walls that seemed older than any star in the sky. Somewhere deep inside, a faint humming vibrated, like the heartbeat of a giant, unseen beast. In a narrow chamber bathed in a pale blue glow, a figure floated, motionless, but impossibly alive. She was an alien, unlike any human had ever imagined. Her skin shimmered with an iridescent glow, almost translucent, as if light flowed through her veins like liquid silver. Long, delicate chains wrapped around her wrists, ankles, and waist, glinting coldly under the dim lights. The chains were made of a material unfamiliar to human science, stronger than any metal, yet somehow alive, pulsing with a quiet energy. Her eyes opened slowly. They were large, filled with an ancient sadness and a wild hope that refused to die. She tried to move, but the chains held her firmly, unbreakable. Suddenly, a burst of static noise cut through the silence. The ship's intercom crackled. Voice. Distorted but urgent. Alert. Unauthorized presence detected. The alien's gaze snapped to the entrance as a human figure stumbled into the room. He was breathing hard, his clothes torn and stained. There was nothing remarkable about him at first glance. No armor, no weapons, just a man. But something about the way he looked at her, a mix of awe and fierce determination, was undeniable. The man's name was Liam, an astrophysicist by trade, but tonight nothing about his past mattered. What mattered was that he was here, now, and the chains that bound the alien began to hum louder, as if reacting to his presence. Liam took a hesitant step forward. His hands trembled as he reached toward the glowing chains. The room's temperature seemed to drop, frost creeping along the floor like silent fingers. Please. The alien's voice was soft but firm, a language unknown, yet somehow understood. Liam's fingers brushed the chains. Suddenly a surge of energy raced through him, and with a sharp crack, one of the chains shattered, falling away like glass. A sharp alarm blared through the ship. The walls vibrated, as if the ship itself was waking from a long slumber, reacting to the broken chain. The alien's eyes widened in shock and relief. She stretched her freed hand toward Liam. "We must go," she said, her voice urgent. Liam nodded but glanced nervously over his shoulder as heavy footsteps approached fast. "Who are you?" he asked, breathless, eyes searching her face. "Not who," she replied. "What?" Before Liam could respond, the door to the chamber exploded inward, revealing a squad of tall, armored figures moving with deadly precision. "Stop them!" a voice commanded in harsh, alien tones. Liam grabbed the alien's hand, and together they darted into the ship's winding corridors. The heavy pounding of their pursuers echoed behind them, relentless and merciless. The deeper they ran, the more Liam's mind raced. He barely understood how he ended up here. One moment studying a strange signal from space, the next waking inside this massive alien vessel. His instincts told him to protect her, not just because of what she was, but because something in her. Eyes spoke of hope, hope for survival, and maybe for humanity itself. They reached a junction, a fork in the ship's endless maze. The alien paused, closing her eyes as if listening to the ship's hum. "This way," she whispered, leading Liam down a narrow passage that twisted sharply. The armored figures split up, each taking different routes, their boots clanking ominously. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. Lights flickered and then went out, plunging them into darkness, except for the faint glow from the alien's skin. "Power failure," she said calmly. "We have minutes before backup restores." Liam struggled to steady his breath. What are you?" he asked, voice barely above a whisper. "A prisoner," she answered. "And the key?" "Key?" Liam echoed, puzzled. To something far greater than either of us. They found a small chamber sealed by a strange door inscribed, with symbols neither of them could read. The alien reached out, her freed hand glowing brighter. The door hummed and slowly slid open, revealing a dimly lit room filled with strange artifacts and panels blinking with alien code. Liam's scientific mind raced. This was no ordinary ship. It was a vault, a prison, and possibly a weapon. The alien moved to one of the consoles and placed her hand on it. A holographic map flickered to life, showing stars and planets connected by glowing lines. A network of cosmic pathways and something ominously marked at Earth's location. Many have sought this, she said, voice trembling with ancient fear. They want to control it, to control us. A sudden crash shook the room as the armored pursuers broke through their barrier. Liam grabbed a metal rod from the floor. Bracing for a fight he was unprepared for. But before the enemies could enter, a pulse of energy erupted from the alien's body, sending them staggering backward. The chains had not only bound her physically, but also suppressed powers that now surged free. Liam stared in awe. This is just the beginning, she said. If I am freed, if the chains are broken, the balance of the universe will change. Footsteps approached again, faster this time. Liam looked at the alien, determination filling his eyes. Then let's make sure you stay free. Together, they prepared to face whatever was coming next. The ship groaned as if alive, its secrets ready to be unleashed, and only one human could break the chains that held the alien beauty. Secrets beneath the surface. The moment the armored Viggers stormed into the room. Liam and the alien, who had finally introduced herself as Vela, were thrown into chaos. Liam swung the metal rod instinctively, but the alien energy pulse had weakened their attackers. Vela grabbed Liam's arm, pulling him toward a narrow side exit. They dashed through dark, twisting corridors that hummed with an eerie life of their own. The ship wasn't just a prison, it was a labyrinth designed to trap secrets, and now they were running for their lives inside it. Why am I here? Liam gasped, trying to keep pace. Because you can free me, Vela said. Her voice was calm but heavy with urgency. No one else could even touch my chains. You are different. Liam swallowed, confused but driven by the burning curiosity. And a strange bond he already felt with her. What do you mean? Why me? Because your blood carries a trace of the ancient, she replied cryptically. Ancient. Liam echoed, the ship's cold air making his breath visible. An old connection, she whispered, a link between your kind and those who shaped the cosmos. Before Liam could question further, a harsh metallic clang echoed behind them. The pursuers were relentless. They rounded a corner and stopped abruptly. Ahead lay a vast chamber filled with strange machinery, screens flickering with cryptic data, alien symbols shifting like living code. This ship, Vela said, was not just a prison. It is a vault, a repository of knowledge and power. Liam's eyes scanned the panels. Some of the symbols resembled ancient Earth runes, others were completely foreign. Why hide this here? He asked. To keep it safe, she said, from those who would misuse it. As they moved deeper, Liam found a small device on a console and tentatively pressed a button. The ship responded instantly. Maps of galaxies, star systems, and cryptic timelines projected in holographic light. One star system was marked with a flashing red dot, Earth. Why is Earth marked? Liam demanded. Because you and I are connected, Vela said quietly, and because what lies here could change everything. Before Liam could ask more, a sudden jolt rocked the ship. The lights flickered violently. Traps, Vela warned. They want to keep this place locked forever. Liam felt the ship shaking beneath their feet as automated defenses activated. Walls shifted, blocking their path. Panic rose in his chest. Find another way, he shouted. Vela closed her eyes, placing a hand on the nearest wall. The surface rippled like liquid under her touch. and slowly a hidden door slid open. They rushed through into a smaller room where holograms showed glimpses of a long-lost war. Alien fleets battling over control of cosmic artifacts, entire planets caught in the crossfire. This war destroyed civilizations, Vela said. I was a prisoner, held because I carry knowledge that could stop it, or start it again. Liam stared at her, the weight of her words sinking in. Why imprison someone like you? Because I am the last guardian. A sharp noise interrupted. Them, the unmistakable sound of footsteps closer than before. They hid behind a panel as two figures entered. One was tall and cloaked, speaking in harsh alien tones. The other was human, or at least looked like it. The stranger's eyes were cold, calculating. Find the guardian, the cloaked figure ordered. The one who broke the chains. She holds the key, the human-like figure nodded. And the human who freed her. Liam felt his heart pound. They were hunted not only by aliens, but by someone within humanity's own ranks. Flashback. Vela's memory, a burst of images flooded. Her mind, memories she had tried to bury. She was once a leader, a warrior fighting to protect her people from a cosmic threat. But betrayal came from within. Captured, she was chained and cast into this ship, cut off from her world. Her captors feared her power, an ability to link minds across species, to unlock ancient cosmic codes. She remembered a distant star where humans first appeared, primitive but marked by a unique energy signature. Only one human ever had that energy. One who could free me, she whispered to herself. Back in the present, Liam's mind reeled. Could he really be that human? The one with an ancient connection. Why didn't you tell me any of this before? He asked, frustration rising. Because I didn't want you to get caught in this, Vela replied softly. But now there is no choice. Liam took a deep breath. Then teach me. I want to help. For the first time, a faint smile touched her lips. Their moment of hope was cut short by an explosion shaking the corridor outside. The ship was collapsing around them. We have to move, Vela urged. They sprinted through collapsing tunnels, dodging debris and automated defenses firing energy blasts. Suddenly, Liam stumbled, his foot caught in a loose panel. Vela grabbed him, pulling him up just as a blast tore through the floor. Behind them, they reached a sealed airlock and Vela activated the controls. The door hissed open, revealing the cold vacuum of space outside. No time to lose, she said. Liam hesitated, fear rising at the thought of floating in space. I won't let you die, she promised, taking his hand. Together they floated out, tethered to the ship by a thin lifeline. Stars glittered around them, silent witnesses to their desperate flight. Suddenly, a sleek alien craft appeared, blocking their escape. Vela's eyes narrowed. They won't give up. Liam clenched his fists. Neither will I. The humans, hidden power. The alien ship loomed ahead like a dark sentinel against the shimmering backdrop of distant stars. Liam's heart pounded fiercely in his chest, not just from the cold vacuum of space, but from a strange energy rising inside him, a feeling he could barely understand, yet it demanded his attention. Vela floated beside him, her glowing skin pulsing softly, her eyes locked onto the approaching ship with unwavering focus. They've come for us, but this time we won't run. Liam tightened his grip on the tether that connected them to the dying ship they had just escaped. What's happening to me? He asked, his voice trembling slightly. You're awakening, Vela said softly. The power hidden in your blood, the key to breaking the chains, not only that bind me, but many others like me. The words struck him like a thunderclap. The possibility of a latent, mysterious power in his own veins was staggering, yet somehow it made sense. The strange sensations, the connection he'd felt since first touching her chains, the way his body had reacted to the alien energy, it was all part of something much larger. Back inside the ship, the pursuing alien forces readied their weapons. The captain of the hunting party, a towering figure clad in sleek armor that shimmered with a dark metallic sheen, stared at the surveillance monitors. "They've reached the airlock," the captain growled. "But they don't know what lies ahead. Prepare the containment protocols." A subordinate activated a panel and the ship's interior began to shift. Walls reconfigured, energy barriers flared to life, and traps set to deadly precision. Meanwhile, Liam and Vela drifted closer to the alien ship's surface. The vessel's exterior was covered in strange glyphs and an iridescent coating that pulsed faintly with energy. "Whatever happens next," Vela said, "you must trust yourself. Your power is tied to the chains, but it's also tied to your humanity." Liam swallowed hard. "How do I control it?" She smiled faintly. "By understanding who you really are." Suddenly, the airlock they had just escaped from exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The alien ship's energy pulse had triggered the explosion, a warning shot. Liam's heart raced. They had mere seconds to act before the hunters caught them again. Vela's eyes glowed fiercely. "Hold on to me." He did, and in that moment a surge of energy flowed from her to him. Warmth spread through Liam's limbs, followed by a rush of clarity and strength. He felt the chain's power awaken inside him, not as shackles, but as keys. Back on the alien ship, inside the labyrinth of corridors and chambers, the captain's squad advanced cautiously. "This ship is ancient," the captain said to his second-in-command. "The chains we've seen, they are not merely physical restraints. They are keys to a power we do not fully understand." The second-in-command nodded. "Then the human who broke one is more valuable than we thought." The captain's gaze hardened. "Capture them both, alive." Outside, Liam and Vela approached the alien ship's surface. A large hatch hissed open, revealing a docking bay bathed in eerie green light. They entered cautiously. Liam's senses heightened. The ship felt alive, responding to his presence. "Stay close," Vela whispered. The hallway they entered was lined with strange alien technology, panels flickering with symbols, some seeming to pulse in rhythm with Liam's heartbeat. Suddenly, an alarm blared. The ship's security systems had detected their intrusion. Footsteps thundered behind them. "We have company," Vela said, grabbing Liam's arm. "Run!" They sprinted down the corridor, turning sharply into a room filled with crystalline structures that glowed faintly. Liam's eyes caught a console covered with symbols he didn't understand, but something about it called to him. Instinctively, he reached out. The moment his fingers touched the console, a surge of energy shot through his body. The chain's power inside him reacted, unlocking a hidden interface. Symbols shifted, and holographic images sprang to life, revealing star maps, alien blueprints, and warnings of a cosmic threat known only as the Void. Vela gasped. "This is the heart of the ship's secret." Liam's mind raced. The Void was the ancient enemy his alien captors feared, a dark force threatening not just one world, but the entire galaxy. Suddenly, the doors slammed shut behind them. Armed guards flooded in, weapons raised. Liam's heart pounded. He looked at Vela, determination flaring in his eyes. "I don't know what I am yet," he said, "but I'm not afraid to fight for us." Vela nodded. "Together, we can stop this." The fight was brutal, though no blood was spilled. Liam's newfound energy allowed him to deflect attacks, his body moving faster and stronger than he thought possible. Vela unleashed bursts of energy that knocked their attackers off balance, but the guards kept coming, relentless and well-trained. At the climax of the battle, Liam reached deep inside himself, focusing on the chain's power coursing through his veins. He released a burst of light that stunned the guards and shattered a control panel. The holographic star maps flickered violently. "Enough!" A voice thundered through the ship's intercom. A figure appeared in the doorway, a tall humanoid with piercing eyes and an air of authority. "You have no idea what you're meddling with." the figure said coldly. Liam stepped forward, chest heaving. "I'm here to end the chains, yours and hers," the figure smiled cruelly. "Then prepare to be broken." Vela stepped beside Liam, her glowing skin lighting the dark chamber. "The chains are not just physical," she explained. "They are bound to fear, control, and despair. Breaking them requires more than strength. It requires trust and sacrifice." Liam looked at her, feeling the weight of those words. He closed his eyes, drawing on everything he had learned, his own courage, his connection to Vela, and the strange power awakening inside him. The ship trembled as energy surged through the corridors. With a shout, Liam reached out his hand, imagining the chains snapping, the bonds dissolving. A brilliant light exploded, filling the room and engulfing both him and Vela. When the light faded, the chains that once held her glowed faintly, then vanished. Freedom. Awakening. The darkness. The light faded, leaving Liam and Vela standing in the hollow silence of the alien ship's core chamber. The chains that had bound Vela were gone, dissolved by the surge of power Liam had unleashed, but the ship seemed different now, alive in a new way, pulsating with an ominous energy. Vela's gaze was steady, but her voice trembled. "We broke the chains that held me, but something else has awakened." Liam's eyes darted to the dark shadow, curling within the chamber's depths. It was as if the very soul of the ship was stirring, an ancient force, long imprisoned, now roused. "What is that?" Liam asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "A darkness," Vela said, her face tightening. "It's the void seed, trapped here by my ancestors. When I was imprisoned, it was kept sealed, but breaking my chains weakened the barrier." The weight of her words settled like ice in Liam's gut. This was no ordinary enemy. It was a cosmic threat, a force that could unravel worlds. The alien ship began to groan, metallic walls vibrating with low, threatening hums. Warning lights flashed red. The shadow expanded, tendrils of black energy creeping along the floor and walls. Like living smoke, Liam felt a chill. But deep inside, something stirred. A growing warmth, the echo of the chain's power still humming within him. "We have to seal it again," Vela said urgently. "But I cannot do it alone." Liam nodded, the determination blazing in his chest. "Then we do it together." Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared, echoing through the corridors. The alien captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Intruders detected in the core chamber. Containment breach imminent. Initiate lockdown protocols." The ship's systems shifted violently. Doors slammed, sealing escape routes. Automated defense drones hummed to life, their glowing eyes scanning for threats. Vela grabbed Liam's arm. "We don't have much time." Together, they raced toward the control room, navigating twisting corridors and dodging bursts of defensive energy. The ship was collapsing around them, the very air thick with tension and dread. As they ran, Liam's mind raced. The chain's power within him was growing stronger, but he still did not fully understand it. Vela's voice broke through his thoughts. "Your blood is the key, but it's not just power. It's connection. You and I share a bond tied to this ship and the void." Liam swallowed. "How did my blood get connected to something so alien?" She hesitated, then said, "Long ago your ancestors encountered our kind. Some of them carried fragments of our essence, unknowingly binding themselves to cosmic forces beyond comprehension." The truth struck Liam like lightning. Humanity's roots ran deeper into the cosmos than he'd ever imagined. They reached the control room, a vast chamber filled with glowing consoles and pulsating energy cores. Vela moved quickly to a central panel, her fingers flying over alien. "Symbols, we need to reactivate the ancient seals," she said, "but the ship's systems are damaged." Liam stepped forward, instinctively placing his hand on the console. The chain's energy inside him resonated with the alien tech, and the symbols glowed brighter. Together, they worked in sync. Vela guiding, Liam lending his unique power. But the shadow was growing faster, creeping closer. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently. The shadow surged into the room, a swirling mass of black energy, tendrils lashing out like living darkness. Liam stood firm, focusing the power within him. A bright light erupted from his chest, pushing back the shadow's tendrils. Vela joined, him channeling her own energy. The two lights met and intertwined, forming a brilliant shield. The shadow hissed in fury, retreating slightly. A voice echoed in Liam's mind, deep, ancient, and chilling. You wield the chain's power, but you cannot control the void. Liam shivered. The voice belonged to the darkness itself. I will not let you consume us, he thought fiercely. The battle was not just physical, it was mental, spiritual. Vela spoke urgently. The seals. Need time to activate fully. We must hold the void back. Liam nodded, tightening his focus. Energy flowed from his body, weaving with Vela's light. They were a beacon in the darkness. The ship trembled again. The shadow screamed. Outside the ship, alien warships gathered, circling like vultures. The captain's voice crackled again. The prison is failing. Prepare to evacuate. But inside, Liam and Vela refused to give up. Minutes stretched like hours as they fought to maintain the light. Suddenly, the energy cores stabilized. The ancient seals hummed with renewed power. The shadow writhed, then was pulled back into the depths of the ship's core, trapped once more behind walls of light. Exhausted, Liam collapsed to his knees. Vela caught him. We did it, she whispered, but Liam shook his head. This is only the beginning, the gathering storm. The warning echoed in Liam's mind like a distant thunder. The void will return, and this time it will bring an army. Outside, the alien ship. Stars twinkled coldly in the endless void, but the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. The ancient darkness had been pushed back for now, but it was only a matter of time before the next wave came. A vast, merciless force that threatened all life. Inside the ship's control room, Liam and Vela exchanged grim looks. The seal held, for the moment, but it was fragile. A thin line between light and oblivion. We need allies, Vela said, her glowing eyes reflecting the console's flickering lights. My people scattered across the stars, hiding from the void. We must find them, warn them, unite them. Liam nodded, exhaustion pressing on him, but determination burning brighter. And humanity. You're the first human to wield the chain's power, she said. Others may be out there, waiting to awaken. Liam's mind flashed to Earth, the blue planet spinning quietly in the distance. How little they knew of the true cosmic war unfolding around them. The alien ship shifted course, setting a new trajectory toward an ancient relay station, a forgotten outpost on the edge of known space. The station held communications archives and star maps, vital for finding Vela's scattered kin. As they approached, Liam watched the stars slip by like shards of glass. The silence between bursts of engine noise felt heavy, pregnant with unspoken fears. Vela broke the quiet. This place, it's been abandoned for centuries, but it's our best hope. Upon docking, the duo ventured into the station's shadowed corridors, dimly lit by flickering emergency lights. The atmosphere was thick with neglect and forgotten memories. At the heart of the station, an ancient console awaited them, humming faintly beneath layers of dust. Vela activated the console with a touch, and the room flooded with holographic maps and data streams. Star systems blinked on and off, some marked with symbols Liam had never seen. These are the last known locations of my people, Vela explained, but many systems are lost or hidden. Suddenly, the console displayed a warning. Void. Influence detected. Quarantine protocols engaged. Liam's heart skipped. The void was already spreading. A low rumble shook the station. The air thickened with tension. Outside, dark shapes emerged, ships cloaked in shadows, their engines burning with cold fire. The Void's advance had begun. "We're not alone," Liam said sharply. "We have to warn the others, and fast." Vela's voice was steady but urgent. "Then let's send a message before it's too late." The two worked quickly, sending out encrypted transmissions to every beacon and outpost in Vela's network. Liam's power hummed through the station's systems, amplifying their reach. But just as the last message was sent, alarms blared through the station. The Void ships closed in. Vela grabbed Liam's arm. "Prepare yourself." The station's defense systems sprang to life. Turrets rotated, energy barriers flared. But the Void's ships moved like shadows, slipping past the defenses with eerie precision. Inside, Liam felt the chain's power pulse wildly. This time, it wasn't just about breaking chains, it was about standing as a beacon of resistance. The battle was fierce but without gore. Pulses of energy clashed, illuminating the dark corridors with bursts of light. Liam and Vela moved like a whirlwind, their combined power pushing back the Void forces inch by inch. But the enemy was relentless. At a crucial moment, Liam felt a strange sensation, a call from deep within his mind. It was subtle, but unmistakable. "Help is coming," a voice whispered. From the shadows emerged a figure, a human woman, clad in sleek armor with glowing symbols on her suit. Her eyes held a fierce intelligence and calm determination. "I'm Maya," she said, "a part of the resistance on the other side of the galaxy. Your message reached us." Liam and Vela exchanged a glance. Hope rekindled. Maya led them through secret passages, guiding them to a hidden communications hub. "We've been waiting for someone like you," Maya said. "The chain's power is the key to turning the tide. But we must be ready." The three worked together, combining their knowledge and skills to strengthen defenses and coordinate their scattered allies. But the Void shadow was spreading faster than anticipated. Suddenly, an urgent alert flashed on the main console. "Void breach detected on planet Serix 9. Liam's chest tightened. Serix 9 was one of the nearest allied worlds, home to many of Vela's people. "We have to help them," Vela said, her voice resolute. Maya nodded. "Then we move quickly, before it's too late." The alien ship shifted course again, heading toward Serix 9. As they approached, the devastation was clear. Vast swaths of the planet's surface burned with unnatural darkness, twisted by the Void's corrupting presence. Liam's heart ached at the sight. This was no ordinary battle, it was a fight for survival itself. On the ground, they joined forces with local resistance fighters, aliens and humans alike, who had refused to surrender. Together, they launched a desperate counterattack, using Liam's unique power to disrupt the Void's influence. But the enemy adapted quickly, striking back with overwhelming force. In the heat of battle, Liam's powers surged uncontrollably, a dangerous and unpredictable force. Vela reached out. "Focus on the bond, the light within you and within us." Liam took a deep breath, grounding himself in that connection. With renewed clarity, he unleashed a pulse of energy that shattered the Void's hold on the planet. The darkness receded, but the cost was high. As the dust settled, Liam looked at the wounded and the weary faces around him. "This fight is far from over," he said softly. "But together we are stronger." Vela placed a hand on his shoulder. "And we will stand against the coming storm." Cliffhanger. As they prepared to leave Serix 9, a dark ship appeared on the horizon. Larger, more terrifying than anything they had faced. The Void's army had arrived. Light. Beyond the darkness, the sky above Serix 9 was choked with dark clouds and the looming shadow of the Void's flagship. It was a monstrous craft, larger than any Liam had ever seen, with black spires that seemed to suck light into themselves. The final battle was upon them. Liam, Vela, and Maya stood shoulder to shoulder, facing the terrifying reality. Their combined forces were weary, battered from endless fighting, but their spirits refused to break. "This is it," Liam said, his voice steady despite the fear coiling in his chest. "We stop the void here, or everything we care about is lost." Vela nodded. "The chain's power within you is the last hope, but it's more than power. It's the bond that unites us." Maya raised her weapon, a sleek pulse rifle glowing faintly. "Then let's give them a fight they'll never forget." The battle began with a roar, laser fire cutting through the thickening atmosphere, explosions lighting the darkened battlefield. Liam moved with purpose, feeling the chain's energy flow through him like a river of light. It was no longer just his power. It was the power of every ally, every friend, every life that had stood with him. The Void's forces swarmed, relentless and cruel, their shadows twisting and writhing, but Liam's light cut through them with fierce precision. At the heart of the battle, Liam confronted the Void's core, a swirling mass of black energy, a living darkness that spoke in 1,000 terrible voices. "You cannot destroy me," it hissed. "I am the end and the beginning." Liam stood firm. "You are nothing but fear, and fear can be overcome." He raised his hands, the chain's power igniting into a blinding blaze. Memories flooded his mind. Vela's courage, Maya's determination, the countless lives fighting alongside them. The light expanded, overwhelming the Void's core. But the darkness fought back, reaching deep into Liam's mind, trying to twist. His fears, his doubts, his regrets. "You are weak. You cannot protect them." Liam's heart pounded. He faltered for a moment. But then Vela's voice echoed in his mind. "We are with you. Always." Strength returned like a rising tide. Liam pushed back the shadows within himself and shattered the Void's core. The darkness screamed, unraveling in a burst of brilliant light that washed over Kerix 9 and beyond, cleansing the corruption. The Void's army faltered, then broke. As the dust settled, Liam collapsed to his knees, exhausted but victorious. Vela and Maya rushed to his side. "We did it," Maya said, tears glistening in her eyes. Vela smiled softly, "because we stood together." In the days that followed, the galaxy began to heal. The scattered peoples of Vela's race reunited, inspired by the courage of a human who had broken the chains. Liam returned to Earth, forever changed. The chain's power was now a part of him, a reminder of the bond between humanity and the cosmos. The lesson. Liam stood beneath Earth's vast night sky, stars twinkling above like distant promises. He realized the truth. The greatest power is not strength or technology, it is unity. The bond that ties us together across worlds and species is what breaks every chain, and in that unity there was hope, the end.